you started out here in '83, this crazy little bar band that noisy, risk-taking, always setting fire to things like people's hairs.
Sure, yeah. Well, we're called the Flaming Lips. Yeah.
And now you've grown into this, from these humble beginnings to a major label act with this devoted international following that's grown, I think, beyond cult status.
Sure, yeah. In some places, yeah.
You've had your songs used on soundtracks, major motion pictures. You've been on Beverly Hills 90210,
Yep.
3 Grammys, and on and on. Seems you could be living anywhere you want, but you've chosen to stay in Oklahoma City, and you've even chosen to remain pretty much in the neighborhood where you grew up, which is kind of a rough, low-rent part of town.
It is, yeah.
Why did you choose to stay here?
Well, I think early on, of course, we didn't really make any of those choices. We were just being who we were, which I think is the only way you could really do it. I don't think someone, I was 22 when, we put out like our first record and began this life as a member of the Flaming Lips. You could see there's no way I could have looked ahead 25 years and thought, staying in Oklahoma is going to really mean, is going to be one of the most unique things about us. I think when we began, we didn't think being in Oklahoma or being in New York or anywhere what meant anything. It was more about, who you were and your ideas and the music you made. So I think we never thought about leaving, but of course we never really had any offers either. I'm sure if somebody would have said, sure, move to London and we'll record you guys, or come out to LA for a couple of years. And we probably would have been true to the other things you said. We would have been willing to take risks and try different things. But I think because we traveled so much, and you have to remember, we started at a time where, being underground and being independent and being, a do-it-yourself sort of artist was really just in its beginning, and you were almost proud to be under the radar, and you're proud to almost be a secret or to be poor or whatever it was that these other accolades bring to you. We didn't really care, and so the idea that we came from Oklahoma didn't occur to us to be a good thing or a bad thing until we would drive around and go to some of these places. I remember being in LA, San Francisco, Minneapolis, even Austin, Texas. And the things that they would write about us as the Flaming Lips, of course, no one really knew what we were about, but they always thought it was like remarkable that we could make this music and come from Oklahoma. And however that connection, whatever the cliche reaction or whatever the myth or whatever it was that they thought this music associated with Oklahoma meant, we always thought, well, that's kind of silly because, music is it's like all art. It's made in your head. It's not made from the earth or from the buildings or all that. And so we thought, well, that's great that you think that, but we're just the Flaming Lips. We're just doing our own thing. But I could see, little by little, how, you try to shape your own universe, and yet the universe fights back and shapes you, and you don't know which way is better or which way is the truth. And so I can tell you that I think Oklahoma has given me more. This idea of me being from Oklahoma has made, for whatever the reason, people believe in my work ethic as being a real thing and not just some image. And the things that we sing about, the absurdness of our life, being from Oklahoma, it becomes more authentic. Because we're not from LA or from New York, and this isn't a pose. And I could have never known that in 1983 and 1984 when we started, that there would be this sort of, this collective idea of what it means to be from Oklahoma. And when I would go to places, especially in Europe, and we'd talk about being from the Midwest or the Wild West or the Southwest, because no one really knows what Oklahoma is. Depending on which corner you stand on, you could have 1 foot in the Midwest, 1 foot in the Southwest, 1 foot in the Wild West, and 1 foot just in the middle of America, And so I think everybody has a different idea of what that can mean. And I still run into people who think that there are cowboys and Indians fighting, in the field behind my house where I live, when I'm in between dodging tornadoes and I'm wondering if I'm going to be attacked by some crazy, herd of buffalo or something, So there is an idea out there that I think is partially true, but a lot of it is just exaggerated myths about what it must be to live here.